I do want to mention a comment because I thought it was interesting. Lori says, I don't think of individuals when I think of reparations. It's a national debt. Okay. Um, uh, and I would love to hear what you guys would say about that. Even when we look at General Sherman's order, the whole thing where we get like the 40 acres and a mule from, it wasn't a national debt. It was something that Jefferson was planning to sign off on, and not Jefferson, what's his name? Lincoln was planning to sign off on, but it still was the property from the people who were slave holding.
Right.
And so when we think of this debt, much like the biblical standard that a slave owner wasn't supposed to turn their slave free without some kind of payment or some kind of, oh gosh,
Like something for them to
severance
get
package.
started. Yeah,
Yeah,
severance.
something.
Yeah.
So they're not just leaving, empty-handed. That was much along the same lines when we see the ending of slavery. I can't find personally in scripture, and I mean, maybe you have something, or maybe y'all have something where we would see a biblical precedent for something like people who never were slaves being paid by a nation, and because the reparations would come from the nation of taxpayers, because that's how things are paid, especially like national debts or things like that. Like that would be paid on the back of our taxes. And so if I was not a slave, if my grandmother was not a slave, why would I receive the benefit or the payment from something that didn't happen to me? I'm not sure that we have biblical warrant for it. If you see biblical warrant for it, I do welcome you to put it in the chat, but I just don't see it. And so I'm trying to understand, like, if we are as Christians, and I'm assuming you're a Christian, if we are as Christians going to live our lives according to biblical theology and not a cultural narrative or a cultural ideology,